There's some stuff, really exciting stuff. I'd like to announce one of them on the pod today.
The de-extinction company, Colossal, they have sequenced the genome of the extinct Thylacine, 99.9% complete genome, with only 45 gaps remaining to be filled in.
Why are these people trying to make it off the planet Earth rather than preserving the thing that we already know sustains life for as long as possible, you know?
Recently, I was talking about the Indian billionaire who started this world's largest rescue and rehab. I think the last time we talked about this on air, I was telling you guys I was about to go over there. I was so blown away by this place. This place, this Vantara in India, it makes the San Diego Zoo look like a roadside Mexican zoo.
Wild times. Ooh. Damn. Nice.
Woo! Here we go. Wild times.
Wild times, eh?
We're in the studio. Things are good. Life is good. How we doing, fellas?
Me? Listen, I'm great. I can't complain. I'm happy to be back in studio with you guys. I know you've been traveling all over the world, both of y'all. I'm a little bit jealous, but it's always just good, refreshing to be back in the studio, talk about your adventures, some animal shit, and
Let's start here. Let's let people behind the curtain a bit.
Okay.
As if we even have a curtain.
What
we don't.
curtain?
We don't even shower
Glass
with curtains.
No.
I have no bathroom right now. True story, by the way.
Wait, are
Interesting.
you just bathing in the creek?
We'll get into that.
Okay.
You go ahead.
All right.
So we're on the way to the studio, and Peter sends a screenshot of his sleep score from last night. 98%, slept almost 8 hours.
That's right.
So good.
So I checked mine.
Yep.
I got a solid 100%, 8 hours and 48 minutes of sleep.
Shocking.
And then Forrest sends me a text and says, "Can you get me some Tums?"
We're on two different wavelengths.
Yeah, what's going on with you?
It's just hectic. I'm just trying to squeeze everything in. So I've been sleeping like 3-4 hours a night, which has now created an upset stomach situation.
Body is revolting, bro.
I'm shutting down as a human being currently.
Still so happy though. That's what I love about you.
I got to do it. You know, you got to get it when the getting's good. And it is right now. Like things are busy. There's some stuff, really exciting stuff. I'd like to announce one of them on the pod today.
Ooh,
I'd like to hear it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Things are good, but it's just like I'm getting no sleep.
Yeah.
I don't have time to sleep. I'm either with the kids or working until midnight, 1 a.m. And then I get up at like pre-5 to get going again before the kids wake up. So I can get shit done.
You're forgetting the part about that you're literally flying to and from places every single week. Like, it's crazy. Like, because I do what you do with the kids and work. It's just kids work. But I don't do the traveling. Yeah. And that's the thing that really makes your body like, get the F out of here.
It's hard to take a flight that's even more than like an hour without coming down with the cold.
It really is.
100%.
Yeah, it's just when you get on an airplane, you're just signing a waiver that you're going to be sick now.
We talk about airplanes on this podcast more than animals. I would say so.
We are flight heavy.
I spend my life on airplanes.
I want to just so Kyle, he hit me up yesterday. He's like, "Hey, did you pack the key?" Because from Animal Con, we got this case with tripods on. He's like, "Do you have the key to get into the case?" And I was like, I mean that was a month ago. I have no clue. I don't know. And he's like, I was like, maybe it's here. Nope, not there. He's like, I think we're gonna have to break in. So he just busts into this. And then he goes, I forgot I had to set all this shit up. And I was like, oh, what a.
Did you spend the night here, Kyle?
Yeah. Came here, forgot he had to do it.
You go ahead.
No, I knew that I had boxes and stuff at my house that I needed to bring from Animal Con. It just didn't occur to me until I was pulling up here that I was like, oh, I have to set all this stuff up.
Okay. No. So you did it last night.
I did it last night.
Right.
What time did you get? So what was your sleep score, Kyle? What time did you get to bed?
Ask the futon.
Yeah.
So what I was picturing was Kyle has all these boxes in his trunk, comes in, plops on the futon with his bag of Taco Bell, whacks it, and then just goes to bed without setting up.
That's not what happened.
I was prepared to come here. I was like, oh, dude, I'll go there. It's going to be awful, but I'll go there with a saw. I was like, where's that saw? Like, in case we have to saw into this box.
Good Lord.
Anyways.
So, Forrest, what was... we haven't had a chance to talk about it since I was not at Animal Con.
Yeah.
I heard some stories, saw some texts, but there was a text thread on our WhatsApp message that indicated that Peter was going to have to do an entire day by himself at Animal Con.
I was so proud of this.
Okay, so what happened?
I've never been both so angry and so relieved at the same time.
I was so proud of this. Peter was having so much anxiety about Animal Con already And so the day was it day one, right? It was
Day
the first
two.
Day two.
After we got smashed, you were up. I've never seen you up so late.
Oh yeah, we were up till like 4 a.m. You know, typical animal.
So it was very
shenanigans.
believable. I was like,
who are you drinking with?
Everyone.
yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Okay.
I mean, there was no like core. I mean, there was a core
A couple
group.
of the guys from last year, Carter was there.
Yep.
You know, I think his name was Josh. A bunch of the peeps were
Josh, and then Sam was there.
there. Yeah,
and
Sam.
Yeah,
our
no,
Irish friends.
We had a squad, but we just sent it until like 4 a.m. Like literally got like chucked out of the hot
Got
tub,
kicked
like
out.
the whole thing.
That's
Yeah.
what, I left Forrest laying poolside on one of the reclining
Loungers.
chairs.
My
It's a safe
san-
place to
my
lay
I was
next
calling
to
it a
water.
night on a lounger. Yeah, at about 4 a.m.
My sandals were left they were lost, gone. And I also went to the wrong place and called them. And I was like, I can't get in with my key. They sent security. And he's like, you're in the wrong tower. I was like, shit. And
So because of
Perfect.
that, I did legitimately get up and Ralph at one point in the night, and that stemmed a brilliant idea. So I texted Peter and Kyle to panic both of them.
No. Wait, before we got to Forrest texts, we're hitting them up. Animal Con, we're about to start live streaming in like 10 minutes.
Starts at 10 a.m. The live stream starts at 10 a.m. Go
Right.
ahead.
And so Forrest is nowhere to be found. Like he's not walking around like he normally is. He's not doing things. You don't see him around. He's not people. And we're like, where the hell's Forrest? It gets on to like 5 minutes. And then Jay, who's the guy who set up like all the interviews and stuff, he's like, starts panicking because we're like, Forrest isn't here. Like Kyle's trying to hit him up. His phone is going straight to voicemail.
Oh, God.
This was all intentional, by the way.
Straight to voicemail.
Yeah.
Is
WhatsApps
nasty
aren't
business,
getting
brother.
the double check. So like he's not getting the checks.
Right.
Literally like 2 minutes before he's like, now you go.
Sure. So I planned it. I was literally at Starbucks getting coffee, but I intentionally screened all of their calls and didn't read the WhatsApp messages. And then exactly 5 minutes, not 2 minutes, before we were set to record, as I was walking to the convention center, I texted Peter and Kyle, and I said, came down with the worst stomach flu, not going to be able to make it. You got this, Peter.
And I was like,
and then sent it, and then put my phone in my pocket so that, because I knew they would start calling me again immediately.
It was mayhem. So at that point is when we told Jay.
Oh, I
and
love it.
Jay is just like, we got Mikey Bustos. Mikey Bustos, millions of followers. I was like, I just look at Kyle and I'm like, I'm not doing it, dude. And like, so now we're trying to figure out who can fill in for Forrest, who has to know all of the people. And like, everybody is frantic, like literally running around, like just with a panic look.
All hell is broken loose.
Kyle, who never freaks out, is just like, and I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'll leave right now. I will leave.
So Kyle freaking out is just him saying nothing.
He's done.
Exactly.
He mentally
He's
checked
just-
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
then I
love about
walked
him.
in at
I love it.
9:59. So I gave them, I think it was actually 6 minutes of panic that I
Yeah.
planned for.
Hey.
And then I walked in right at 9:59.
And what did I do?
You were so sweaty. You were the sweatiest I've ever seen you.
I jumped on him.
He jumped on me and gave me one of those like gripping bear
Like,
hugs.
like
that-
an angry, want to knock him down, but also so happy.
220 pounds of koala.
Could you imagine 4 hours of me trying to interview a bunch of people and I don't know shit about animals?
Kyle would have had to go on. Yeah, you would like someone would have just come up with like a python, and you would have been like, "So tell me about this amphibian that you brought up."
Dude, not to mention in pure Wild Times chaos, nonsense, unprepared form. We had a show doc that was like 20 pages. It had all these people on it. That maybe like 2 of them were there. So I had questions for a bunch of people who weren't there.
Yep,
And I'm
100%.
just like, but when I did have the questions, dude, we were fucking killing it, man.
No, it
'Cause
was
Nice.
good. We had
Yeah.
a good show. I really enjoyed
It was-
sending them into a
it was
spiral.
It's a nice
bad.
prank.
Yeah.
It's by far the best prank that's been pulled on me in my adult life.
There was so much panic when I walked in the room. It
Oh
was
my
great.
God. Yeah.
But Animal Con was good, man. We drank a lot. We had a lot of fun. It was all the same stuff. It's growing. The event's growing a
Much
lot.
bigger.
Yeah. This year they had a water buffalo there.
Nice.
That
I
got
like the
kicked
sound
out.
of it.
Water buffalo got removed.
Really?
Yeah. The hotel staff were not prepared for
Yeah,
a
they
water
were like,
buffalo.
"You have to tell us." this
Correct.
stuff.
Yeah.
Can't just-
Kangaroos, all kinds of stuff.
Lots
going
of people
on.
came from overseas to see us. We had a couple from Ireland that came that were awesome.
That's
We
right.
hung out with. And just like other people, you remember last year there was like people watching us all day. Some fans came out who probably lived in the area. Forrest, I mean, there was like 50 people watching the pod at
It
any
was
given
full.
time.
The stands,
crazy.
The seats were full
was
almost
awesome.
the whole time. Yeah.
Nice.
So it was
bro.
good.
Sorry, I missed it.
Next
Yeah,
year, mate. Next year.
Absolutely, Kyle. Press the button.
What's in the news?
Wait, what the
is
hell's going on?
happening?
I like it. I like it. It's
He
it's a
mentally
medley.
checked out again.
Unprepared Wild Times form.
Try again, Kyle. Try again.
He is not.
Oh, there it is.
Sir, news from the underground.
I pushed 2 buttons at one time.
What's in the news?
What's in the
He
news?
fat fingered it.
Real button pusher. All right.
All right. Well, I'm excited about this, Forrest. I want to hear your take. We've talked about Colossal quite a bit, but
Yep,
you know,
I'm wearing their shirt right now.
they're doing some cool shit. That's a cool shirt too. They have announced, the de-extinction company Colossal has announced that they have sequenced the genome of the extinct Thylacine,
Wow.
the Tasmanian tiger, 99.9% complete genome with only 45 gaps remaining to be filled in,
Incredible.
which is crazy. It's the closest they've ever been. Anyone's ever been.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
So they found a preserved museum specimen that was unknown about or maybe not checked.
Oh.
And they pulled that, and basically, I'm going to butcher all the numbers, but I was talking to Colossal about this. So they found the specimen. I believe it was in Australia, mainland Australia, not Tasmania. And they're like, holy shit, how's nobody ever sequenced a specimen? Like, even though it's 70 years old, whatever, they're like, how's nobody ever sequenced this? And then
Stop moving.
they sequenced it and found that by sequencing that specimen, it was so well preserved that it filled out like several hundred gaps that
Wow.
I'm making all these numbers up.
Sure.
But,
Yeah.
you know, they had this huge discrepancy of gaps in the sequencing. And then they're like, this animal just filled in all of those gaps for us. So now they're down to just 45 gaps, which is basically an AI program to figure that out. You know what I mean? You just got to run enough mathematics to figure out those remaining gaps
Powerful enough
And so
computer.
do they need 100% complete sequence?
in order to make it. Yeah.
Exact
Yeah,
copy.
but they're at 99.9%. And so the DNA that they pulled was from a tooth from a 120-year-old specimen.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then they're like, it's all in the core of the tooth. You know, teeth
Yeah.
stay preserved, right? Like teeth that like you burn a corpse or whatever, and there's still teeth in the ashes.
Right.
Yeah.
So they've managed to find all this stuff, and then they made this big announcement, and basically they're that much closer to having a thylacine back.
They did the woolly mammoth was the big first announcement that they did. Was that one at 100 when they did it? And
No. I don't know what it's at, to be honest, but thylacine is now moved up on the timeline.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I don't know what mammoth was at. They were always predicting that first mammoths would be born in 2028.
So what does it look like if they bring back the thylacine?
Crazy, right? That's just a few years away.
Yeah.
Like our kids won't even be teenagers when there's mammoths around.
Also,
Hopefully.
I bet
Yeah.
the number goes up with the rate at which AI is advancing right now. But so what does that look like if when they end up actually bringing back the thylacine? Do they put it in captivity and then release it, or what will they do?
It's a lengthy process. There's a big area in Tasmania. They're working with Tassie Ark, I believe, and they'll use the Dunnart, which is the closest living relative. It's basically like a marsupial mouse. So all marsupials are born the size of a jelly bean, right? And then they crawl into their mother's pouch.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter if the thylacine was 50 pounds and the Dunnart's 5 pounds or whatever. They're all these tiny little jelly beans when they're born. So they'll birth a thylacine through a Dunnart surrogate. The thylacine will go into the Dunnart's pouch for not a lot of time because then it will be too large. And then it will move into an artificial pouch, kind of like an artificial womb, grow out to being a pup. Then that pup plus his man, they're not going to do one at a time. They're probably going to do 5 or 6 or I don't know. But
Sure.
And then they'll take those animals and put them into a small but controlled wild area and study them and teach them how to be thylacine. So it's a very long process. It's not like, okay, we got them, chuck them out in the wild of Tasmania, we'll be good.
But they will be put back into the wild, and then the population will be left to grow.
I mean, in success. And
In success.
That's
That's
amazing.
probably many decades from
But
now,
it's
I would think.
incredible. It's such a big step towards what humans normally do, which is destroy everything.
Well, here's
Right.
the other thing. It may not work.
True.
Right? There's
True.
trial and error with everything.
true.
So, like, the fake womb might not work. The
Right.
Dunnart might fucking die. Like,
But I feel like Colossal.
Nothing that they're projecting or expected will go how they're projecting or expected it, right?
Right, yeah.
Doesn't mean they're going to stop. Doesn't mean they're going to quit. Doesn't mean
Right.
they're going to fail. The artificial pouch fails, they'll make another one. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They'll use a kangaroo. Like they'll just keep being dynamic until they figure it out, which is what's so
Exactly.
cool about it.
Well, when you have a mission and you're Colossal, like you have money now. People believe in you. Your whole purpose is now to do this. It's like you overcome those failures until you get it done.
I like this Kyle just highlighted. So the CEO of Ben Lamb of Colossal was sort of grilled on why they hadn't published anything that proved that their claims were true.
Yep.
And his quote was, we are not an academic lab where papers are our main focus. We will continue to make progress much faster than the process of writing scientific papers.
That's why I love Ben. I was
like
texting
it.
Ben literally this morning. Like, that's why I love that guy. He's just like, fuck that. I'm not going by your convention. I don't care about your papers. He's like, I'm here to
Get
bring
shit
animals
done.
back. Fuck off. You
Yeah.
know? He's
Right.
like, I don't give a shit what you guys think.
Yeah.
That's what makes him so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm very pro Ben. I totally agree with what he said, as we're not an academic lab. We're not paper focused. I'm curious. I want to get people's take. Comment in the comments below. How do you feel about this? Do you think that a scientific institution like Colossal should be focusing on putting out papers, which in my opinion detracts from their work, or should they just be focused on their goal and say, give the old middle finger to those that are
Yeah, I'd be
critics?
curious to know what the listeners think, because I think a lot of our listeners they have studied in the sciences and stuff.
Definitely.
So yeah,
Definitely.
I am curious.
People are sick of it, man. They're sick of the scientific process and the fact that it's just bureaucracy and a race for money. I swear to God, people are sick of it.
Oh, 100%.
I'm hearing it and seeing it more and more, and it's refreshing.
It's,
Yeah.
it's why TV has gone to shite and YouTube is the new, everybody just watches YouTube because it's just go out there, you shoot something, you whatever happens, you know?
There's a lot going on.
What does that even
it's a
mean?
On
great-
YouTube, have you
Oh.
watched YouTube? It's insane. It's just like it's insane. It makes no sense. There's nothing linear. It's just like a guy screaming at a camera.
Yeah.
I know because I'm doing it too. I got one coming out this week. It's just like fish jumping everywhere,
Oh,
and I'm
dude.
yelling.
By the way, dude, it's so good. We did it on the bonus pod. We played a sneak peek, and it is amazing what
But
he
it's
has
chaos.
done. It is. It looks like chaos too.
Dude, it's funny though, because my wife said to me the other day, oh, my foot.
I'm showing
I gotta
Peter.
stop with the foot.
My foot. Oh, him.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, but she was like, how do you think the For Dummies book series is doing these days?
Good question.
I was like, probably not great.
Yeah.
Because like probably once every 2 weeks, I just go to YouTube and am able to fix something at my house.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas
100%.
before I would have had to go to a bookstore and buy the Plumbing for Dummies.
Dude, Plumbing for Dummies, like the For Dummies series, was the original YouTube.
It's how our parents had to troubleshoot things.
100%.
Literally had
Yeah.
to go to the library and get a For Dummies book.
Yeah, yeah.
Sobriety for Dummies.
Yeah.
So, all right, I got another news story that I loved, and this is I sound like Donald over here. The media is blowing this out of proportion.
Oh, that's a beautiful impression.
Was that good? Thank you.
No, it's horrible.
So I saw this headline and I was like, no way China tried to pull this off. But it's not what it sounds like. So aquarium star whale shark shocks visitors because it turned out to be a robot.
Yeah, so that headline makes me believe that people were duped.
They were trying to deceive people into believing the robot was.
They've done it before.
I'm looking at it right now. It's a robot.
It doesn't even look remotely not like a robot.
I
It's,
can
I'd be
see the
fooled.
bolts.
You guys
Yeah.
know about animals. I would be. I can
look
see
at the
bolts.
fins. The fins are literally like they're like flaps of an airplane. They're
It
like
Yeah.
looks
wings
like
of an
a
airplane.
submarine.
So I read into the story. Allegedly, the zoo never intended for people to be duped by the whale shark.
Of course
They
not.
were promoting this as their robot whale shark in one of their tanks
Okay.
because they're not pro whale shark in captivity,
Okay.
which I agree with. I think that's great. But the problem is people, and this is where people are so fucking stupid. People are so stupid that they like, or wait a minute, that's not a whale shark. And then they got upset and took to like Twitter and stuff and started yelling at the aquarium. And they're like, we know it's not a whale shark. At no point did we ever say this was a whale shark. We
Right.
thought the robot was a pretty good attraction.
Yeah.
And people thought they were trying to dupe them.
Interesting. So it was sort of like fake outrage or misplaced outrage.
It's misplaced outrage, but it comes from a relatively good place. And I'll tell you why. Because China has been doing the, you remember the pandas, the fake pandas?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
they
was
were
just going to
dogs.
say
Right.
that earlier.
So there is this trend in China where they're like basically faking animals in zoos right now and are getting away with it because like this fucking thing. Remember when they put what were they like chows
oh
or
yeah,
something?
that's a chow.
Yeah.
But
They-
dude, don't you think that possibly they didn't tell people? I don't know the nuance of it, but I can't believe that people, if they didn't put robot whale shark in the attraction title, then people came out. They like
no,
people
bro,
won't-
go back to that. Go back
No,
to that
well,
whale
I get
shark.
it. I get once you see it, but you pay for the ticket online. You think you're going to see a whale shark. You get there, it's a robot, and then China's like, no, you idiots. It's obviously it's a robot.
It's also like the size of a cod.
Yeah.
It's like not
I feel like I
near.
could scoop it up.
I'm looking at two
Yeah.
divers who scooped it up.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good looking fish.
I'm just saying, I don't believe that all the aquarium executives looked at it and were like, yeah, they're gonna fall for this for sure. And then like backpedal and we're like, oh, we never meant to fool you guys. I don't think
it's
so.
the clickbait of aquariums.
New
dude.
York
That's what
Post
it
is really good. So look, there's another headline. I want to do this live. What is the slimy orange alien egg pods discovered in river?
This is huge. I've been seeing it
and
all
they're
over.
rapidly spreading.
Click immediately.
They
Kyle.
think it's an. Yeah.
All right, what's your guess first? Pretty Litter is. I've raved about it. They asked for their website. They said, "Can you give us a quote?"
Okay.
And it was very easy for me because I've said it before. But you guys know that I have a cat named Lemley.
Mhm.
She's 14. And I did think to myself, I'm probably never going to have another cat because the changing of the litter had just become such an issue.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's my least favorite part. Pretty Litter offered to send us a free bag when they were interested in sponsoring the podcast. And we say we need to try the product first for all of our products. I got it, and my wife and I we were like, how does this work this well? There is no smell. I don't mind changing the litter. You never, even if you forget for a couple days or you're busy, you got kids, you don't smell anything. It is an amazing product. I used our promo code to subscribe.
Oh, you did? You went and purchased a subscription with our promo code?
Absolutely. Every 3 months, I get 3 bags. You only need 1 bag a month. All you got to do is clean it.
Huh.
There are, for someone who has an older cat, it changes colors, which can indicate early signs of potential illnesses. And I don't have to go to the pet store and lug heavy crap around because it just shows up. And I'm like, there it is. It's the perfect amount. 1 bag a month, 3 bags. Boom, done.
Listen, Pretty Litter's amazing. You got to try it. Go to prettylitter.com/wild to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy.
Yay!
That's prettylitter.com/wild to save 20% on your first order and get that free cat toy. prettylitter.com/wild. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details.
It's Monday, which means it is Prize Picks night. Retep, you coming over? We're going to watch the Dolphins-Rams game in the garage.
That's right. Monday is my new favorite day of the week.
Would you care about the Dolphins-Rams game if we weren't playing Prize Picks?
Of course not.
Yeah. So I'm calling my shot tonight. I'm going with matchups. I am going with Kyron Williams for the Rams to exploit the awful rushing defense of the Dolphins. I'm going more than for him. I'm going more than for Tua Tagovailoa pass yards. I'm going more than for Tyreek Hill receiving yards. There's a 50.5 point over under on this game. High scoring. I'm going all more than. It's more fun to root for.
Yeah, for sure.
For those of you who haven't tried it, Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members, billions of dollars in awarded winnings. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash.
Download the app today and use code WILD to get $50 off instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today and use code WILD to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Rocket Money.
Oh, man, I love Rocket Money.
Every time. Every single time.
I love Rocket
no,
Money.
Well, this is the ad. Keep going.
Dude.
Every single time we have to do Rocket Money, Peter goes, in this exact tonality, oh man, I love Rocket Money.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why I love Rocket Money, because it sends me emails and notifications about my money where I need to be looking at it. And my wife will be like, how much do we have in the account? Can you move this money here? We got to pay these bills. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I know exactly, because every single morning Rocket Money tells me what's in my account, tells me if I'm over budget on my gas, tells me if I am doing this or that or that. And I need that.
Well, here's the thing for those who don't know what Rocket Money is. It's a personal finance app that can help you find and cancel unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and helps you lower your bills so you can grow your savings. When I first signed up, I have said this before, I had been paying for a gym I didn't go to for 2 years
Yep.
that I didn't know about.
And you're one of 74% of the population that has subscriptions to things they have no idea.
Totally.
Yeah.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million
Crazy.
in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features.
Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/wildtimes. That's rocketmoney.com/wildtimes. rocketmoney.com/wildtimes. The weather's cooled down a lot.
It's fall.
It's
I love it.
It's Gene weather. And speaking of that, I noticed Skinny Pete over there is wearing his skinny doers.
Oh, yeah, baby.
As am I. We're in the same pant.
Oh, I love these. man.
Similar pantalones.
Dude, I was obese and now I lost 30 pounds and these still fit well because they were stretchy. It's amazing.
They're very comfortable pants.
They keep you warm. They feel good. They're cozy. Great for fall.
I'll wear them around the house. Like I'll sit. They're the only jean that I'll sit on the couch with.
100%.
Is that by any chance the fireside denim?
It is, believe it or not. I don't have a fireplace.
No, but it
But-
indicates that it's a good winter pant.
It is.
It is.
It
It's
is.
really nice.
Very
dude.
comfy.
You can sit around the house in it. I mean, dude, I have like 2 pairs of jeans. One are very uncomfortable, and then these.
Look, they've been a sponsor of the podcast for quite a while. It's because we love them and they love us.
Yep.
A lot of our brosners have taken advantage of our coupon code or whatever the hell you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But do what we did. Upgrade your denim with Doer. Check out Doer's flagship stores in LA or Denver. Shop online at shopdoer.com/wild. Right now, our listeners get 20% off your first purchase when you use our exclusive URL, shopduer.com/wild. This is an awesome deal. Don't wait. Go get your 20% off. Go now to shopdoer.com/wild.
Wild.
Oh, I don't want to look at it. What is it? Slimy orange. Read it again.
Slimy orange alien egg pods discovered in river, and they're spreading rapidly.
Apple snail eggs. Remember those apple snails
sure
in
do.
Louisiana? They're
Yeah.
kind of orangey. I'm going to say.
Those are the ones that if you lick them, you get sick and you die.
You get rat lungworm.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Do you know
All right.
about this?
No. Tell
quick,
me. Tell
quick
me.
sidebar, quick, because I do want to see what the headline is. The apple snails that they have in
Scroll down.
Louisiana, Florida, places like that. They
Very
lay,
invasive, right?
Very invasive. They're from Asia. They lay these eggs, but the eggs can carry rat lungworm, which, if ingested by a human, sends this worm into your lung and ultimately your brain, I believe. And there's no cure for it.
Ugh.
So yeah,
So you just go insane, it eats your brain, and you die?
I don't. Do you remember? I think so.
Well, it's not good. I mean,
yeah, it was bad. I remember it was a story right around the time we were filming in Louisiana
Yep.
for Extinct or Alive that like some college frat bros, there was a snail and someone like dared him to eat it.
Yep.
And he did, and then the kid ended up like going crazy or whatever and dying.
Dying.
what a
yeah.
nightmare.
Yeah,
So let's see. What are these? What's your guess? Have you figured it out already?
I read the thing.
Okay. What's your guess? What are these orange globules?
Well, it's got to be the tall white alien species.
Okay.
And it's an actual egg pod of an alien.
That's right.
Oh,
Oh, my
wow.
God. That
Well,
thing's huge.
It's definitely not what I said.
Yeah.
Whoa,
so
dude.
it's-
Wait. So now we see the picture. It looks like a giant magma-filled rock. It's huge. It's like half the size of a man.
It is big.
What could this be?
Would you like to find out?
I would.
I would. Comment
it's a
if
colony of bryozoans, slimy little hermaphrodites that cluster together to create a dinosaur egg-like pod.
you know. Oh.
It was found in a river or in a canal in Holland.
But what bryozoans are like? They're like a gelatinous creature, right? What is a bryozoan? Can you look that up, Kyle? I feel like I should know that, and I don't.
Well, it's
love
a
how- I love-
hermaphrodite. I know that much.
I love how the article called it a silly little
They
hermaphrodite.
didn't say that. They did not say silly.
Okay, so a bryozoa.
It's an aquatic invertebrate that live in these sedentary colonies.
Yeah, but they're like these tiny microscopic. It's like a diatom, basically, right? But it's like a soft-shelled diatom, I think. And then they make these big jelly balls.
And then if you're stuck in the middle of the ball, do you think it gets claustrophobic?
It must be.
I would be.
It must be.
It seems boring, man.
Would you slurp one of those suckers?
No, because you just told me about rat lungworm.
Okay,
I'm just
had
assuming.
I not told you about rat lungworm, if you were in a fraternity and you were being pressured by 40 of your bros, would you slurp
and
one?
you were drinking.
You know how I am with peer
No,
pressure.
it does nothing
I
to
would
him.
probably do it though.
Would you?
I'm very
Yeah,
very
you took a shot
impressionable.
of tequila in your fucking eyeball.
Wow.
What
I-
did we? Oh no, we didn't do any fun shots this time.
No, we did. We did some shitty, disgusting shot
That
with
had
pig-
mayonnaise in it.
It was not good.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
I love mayonnaise.
All right.
It was gross.
So, but dude, so this is basically a bunch of these things like congealed together in the egg, and then it explodes, and like trillions of them come out.
I don't know. They don't come out. They just
That's it.
That's
Oh, that's
their
where they
life.
You're looking
live.
at the life form right there.
That's it.
Okay.
Silly little hermaphrodites.
It says it right there in the
It
article.
never said
There's no
silly.
way it said the word silly.
It didn't. It's yeah. Oh,
So
wow.
they can clone themselves. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Well, if you find one of these, don't slurp it.
Don't slurp
and don't
it.
dare your buddy to do it.
Butt
either.
chug it instead.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a smart thing to do. All right. Well, speaking of aquariums duping people and things of that nature, this is not related to that at all. I'm just
Sure.
trying to come up
It's-
with a clever
It's called a
transition.
segue.
Yeah.
I love when I come up with shitty segues. I get shit on, but when you do it, it's a
But
laughable moment.
I self-deprecated. Did you see
what
that?
I always self-deprecate. That's all I do on this show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but then you get all your feelings hurt when we
No,
shoot
I don't
down
have feelings anymore since I've lost weight.
We've calloused him to feelings. His wife loves it.
Yeah. All right. What do
No,
you got?
I have. It's gonna take a minute.
Good.
We
Take
have a
20.
minute. Okay.
Take 35
Sounds
million.
like he's about to get emotion.
Dude, I might actually, and
Okay.
I'm even gonna throw Kyle under the bus here. He cried. Kyle, did you or did you not cry?
Fact.
Wow.
Okay.
Did you
He's-
get it on film?
He's an easy cry.
He's-
Send it
he's-
to his future wife.
We
Very
didn't get it on
uncomfortable.
film, but I'll
Yes,
tell
we
you
did.
this: we did get on film, didn't we? Yeah, we
Oh,
did.
God. We got it. Kyle, cut it in.
Okay. Recently, remember we talked about putting up that little viral short, the one where I was
Oh, yeah.
talking about the Indian billionaire who started this world's largest rescue and rehab.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think the last time we talked about this on air, I was telling you guys I was about to go over there.
That's right.
Yep.
I went over there with zero expectations. Just to be honest, actually not even zero expectations. To be honest, I went there thinking this is going to be some shitty like roadside Indian zoo, basically.
Mhm.
Right? I'm like, who could build like a private zoo? And it's not a zoo; it's a rescue and rehab. But I was like, it's going to be concrete boxes and sad
Tiger
animals.
King-esque.
That was what I thought could potentially be it. You know, I'd done some reading that said it wasn't that. I was so fucking blown away by this place. Dude, this place, this Vantara in India. Look, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it because look, you can see
Your
it.
hairs are raised.
It's so unbelievable. It makes the San Diego Zoo look like a shitty roadside Mexican
Wow.
zoo.
Mm.
Their level of care, the level of husbandry, the enclosures, because it's not a zoo. By the way, this is private. It's completely closed to the public. No, I'm the first person in history to be allowed to bring a camera in there.
Oh, wow.
Because it's not open to the public, zoos are made for people to view animals. This is not. This is a rescue and rehab. So every enclosure, of which the smallest one is maybe an acre,
Yeah.
is made to simulate an animal's natural wild environment. So it's all overgrown if it's the tiger thing and jungly with like crazy caves and stuff. So you can't even see the animals half
Right,
the time
yeah.
because it's made for the animal. It's not made for humans to view them. And it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And not just because of the enclosures and stuff, but where Kyle cried and I got very emotional, and I'm dead serious about this. They have over 200 elephants that they've rescued from conflict situations. One of the most beautiful stories I've ever seen is you walk into this elephant hospital. I don't know what it costs, but millions and millions of dollars. They've got $1 million endoscopes for removing kidney stones from elephants.
Wow.
They've got a hyperbaric chamber for oxygen treatment for elephants, everything. Because all these elephants come from working basically a life of slave labor, right? Like they work in India, they're logging, they're tourism, they're cutting hay, they're doing construction, like they're used as tools there.
Yeah.
So they bring in these elephants. One of the most beautiful stories I've ever seen. There was this elephant. We walked in the elephant hospital and she's pink. Her whole body's pink. And I was like, what's going on with this Indian
Yeah.
elephant?
Yeah.
She was in an circus and the tent caught fire.
Oh.
And the tent fell down over her and gave her third-degree burns all over her entire body, melting off her skin.
Oh, my God.
Okay?
Wow.
The elephant was abandoned for dead. Anad Ambani, this guy, who I love, by the way, I never knew, like, he's just the most, and I'll tell you why he did all this, because I actually asked him. He heard about the story. This elephant was lying in a ditch on the side of the road, abandoned for dead, moaning in pain to death. He sent his team down there. They collected this elephant. They brought it back to Vantara, which is like 700 miles, whatever. Then they built this elephant its own hyperbaric oxygen chamber and laser therapy
Wow.
to walk the elephant into to treat its skin. Now it has full-time, and this is just one story of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Now it has full-time care, a guy who rubs sunscreen on it, takes it for walks, walks it into the hyperbaric chamber, gives it laser treatments, gives it oxygen treatment on skin. I mean, it's the most beautiful thing you've ever heard. And this elephant's happy as a clam.
Yeah.
You know, their EQ, their emotional intelligence, elephants, they feel happy much more than we ever do. They feel sad much deeper than we ever will. So the fact that this elephant went from what I can only imagine is the most tortured being on the planet to like this unbelievably happy thing, it's like so emotion provoking. And the thing that, and I can go on and on, this is just the elephants. They have hundreds of conflict leopards. They have overcrowding of mugger crocodiles from croc farms. I mean, the list goes on and on. The thing that Kyle and I, and Kyle, pop on and talk about this for a second, but the thing that made Kyle and I like well up with tears was we went and filmed with all these elephants. In the back of this elephant hospital that you're seeing the picture of right now was it 2,000 acres, Kyle?
I think 3,000 acres.
3,000 acre forest just for the elephants to walk in every day, just to go out and walk
awesome.
and for elephants to be elephants. Keep in mind, these are elephants that have spent their entire life chained to something, their whole life. 2 back legs chained together, chained to a post, whatever. So we went and filmed with these elephants. We went and walked with them out in this forest. And I asked them, I said, can I take, because they have like a little museum as a tribute to these elephants. And I was like, can I take their old chains out to show them to the elephants? Because they have such EQ, such incredible emotional intelligence. I want to see what they do. And the guy was like, oh, we've never done anything like that, but sure. So we took these chains, like big, terrible, maybe Kyle can pull up some
Now
pictures.
I'm getting goosebumps.
Dude, just wait till I tell you. I mean, Kyle's going to start crying again. But they've been shackled up like this their whole life, right? And they have these big chains where they have sores and scars on their legs and these neck things with spikes in them so that if they fight back, it pokes into them, like terrible stuff. So I grab a bunch of them. They're heavy as shit. And I take them out to this forest and I lay them down on the ground, like 100 feet in front of some of the elephants. And 2 of the elephants come walking by and they stop. And you could see them get like nervous. Yeah. Right. And they're like, what the fuck's going on? And they very tentatively like sniff at them with their trunk and look at them. And then all of a sudden, this female girl picks up the chains, throws them across the forest and starts going,
oh my
like
God.
She's like, fuck you to the chains, you know?
Yeah.
And then the other one gets in on it. He grabs some chains, throws them across the forest. And you can see them like they're not angry at us. Like we're standing me to you, Peter, from these elephants.
Wow.
But they're angry at their chains. Yeah. They're angry at their former life of imprisonment and enslavement. And this guy, this billionaire who humbly has never even said anything about this publicly, doesn't let people in anything, has gone out of his way to spend millions and millions of dollars to save these animals just out of the goodness of his heart. It's the most touching fucking thing I've ever seen.
It's incredible.
Kyle, weigh in on this.
Yeah, I mean, it was really hard. You could, like you said, you could see their intelligence. Like they were, they didn't want to come close to it at first.
Yeah.
And once they finally did, they wanted to rip those things apart.
Right.
It was crazy, man.
Yeah. You just watch them go from like that bottom EQ, lower, like scared anxiety to like realizing that they're free.
Yeah.
And then just,
And the place, I mean, I could go on and on about it for days because they have thousands and thousands of animals. They have a no say no policy. So if anything needs a home, it doesn't matter what it is, they will go out and rescue it and bring it there. And if they don't have an enclosure for it, they will build one.
That is incredible. It's like one of a kind thing in the world.
And here's my thing on it, right? And I can go on and on about the animals and the level of care, the husbandry. They have the best experts that they've brought in from all over the world. They all live at the complex. Mm-hmm. Like they've built like a housing situation. It's beautiful, really comfortable and nice.
So they live out there.
They live there with the animals, taking care of them. And I can go on and on. The crocodiles, the leopards, the tigers. They have all these tigers from like zoos, not in zoos and stuff that they've rescued that have like deformities. And it's beautiful, man. But it's just, my favorite thing about it is this guy is, he's one of the wealthiest people in the world, or his family is anyway. Mm-hmm. All these dickhead billionaires, right? The Elon Musks, the Jeff Bezoses, whatever. They're in this pointless fucking space race, which I know you like, whatever, the alien stuff.
Untrue, but
this guy is like, fuck that. If I'm going to waste my money on something, I'm going to waste it on protecting animals here on Earth and saving species that need to be saved.
Yeah.
As opposed to spending billions of dollars to dick measure against another billionaire in a space race.
We've talked about this before on the pod, dude. Like, it's like this. Why are these people trying to make it off the planet Earth, these billionaires, rather than preserving the thing that we already know sustains life for as long as possible, you know? And you said, like, I'm into that. I'm not into that. Like, I'm not into the commercial space race. I'm into aliens and UFOs that already have won that race. But, like, dude, no, this guy I don't want to say this, it's going to be controversial, but he's like, give us your tired, give us your hungry, give us your poor of animals.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It's like this experiment where, you know, if, and it's crazy that it's all private. I mean, once this becomes like kind of public and out there, maybe, hopefully that can inspire maybe some of these other billionaires to be like, hey, wait a minute, like, why am I trying to get off the planet when there's so many incredible things already here that can be preserved, you know?
Well, I mean, like Ted Turner has done a lot of this.
A lot of conservation stuff.
A lot. Yeah. I mean, I think he's the biggest landowner in the US, and most of it is just there
Wild
to be
land,
to be
right?
kept wild.
Yeah.
And then it's interesting, and I might misspeak a little bit here, but I was at one of the Turner ranches in New Mexico, and was talking with the GM of all of the Turner properties, because what they'll do is they basically, and don't sue me if I slightly mess this up, but what he told us is that his entire estate is going towards keeping this land wild and keeping the wildlife rehab projects up, right?
Yeah.
And then the GM was explaining, because we were thinking about using the facility to film there.
Yeah.
It's, you know, this massive ranch called Vermejo.
Okay.
And I think it's like 200,000 acres.
Oh, wow.
But they do like, they'll put like a hospitality program on it. So they'll put like a really nice resort, and then 100% of the profits of that go to projects, that lists of wildlife, like not rehab, but like, you know, conservation projects.
Yeah.
So it's just, they've tried to set it up in a way that they can just sustain these properties and just let them be sort of these cool wild lands.
I think it's so fantastic. Like, to me, this is what I've said this before many times. Conservation is a war that we've been losing since its inception, right? We lose more and more species every single year. We lose more and more habitat every single year. The privatized conservation, as in like, well, not even privatized, but like government organizations and not-for-profits and all that, they're great. Don't get me wrong. I work with tons of them, but they're fucking losing. They're losing the war.
Mm-hmm.
What's gonna win the war is these guys, the Ted Turners, the Anat Ambanis, these guys that have almost infinite resources going, well, I'm going to do it my way.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back to the Ben Lamb thing, right? They're like, I'm not publishing papers. I'm not doing this how the IUCN or Rewild or any of the WWF say to do it. I'm just going to do it my way. I'm going to save animals the way that I think. I'm going to buy land and preserve it and protect it, and I'll hire all the best people that I trust. And I think it is so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's almost like the difference between the billionaires who sit behind a desk and make their money. Like Elon Musk got his initial money by being involved with PayPal, I'm pretty sure.
Correct.
And
he started PayPal.
And obviously Jeff Bezos did Amazon. And Mark Zuckerberg did Facebook. Like these guys versus, you know, a guy like this, their mindset, they're in the concrete jungle. Like they're behind a desk, you know, and they're not outside. So it's like that. It just speaks to like, you have to go outside and be outside. I personally don't do it enough. And every time I do go outside, I'm just like, man, like I got to be outside more. And then you get sucked back in because you got to make money. You got to grind. You got to do this, that. But it's almost like the world and the internet and screens and computers, like they always just pull you back in, notifications, like everything. And like, if you can just pull away from it and get outside, some of these billionaires, I'm speaking directly to you, go outside, Jeff Bezos, take a look at just go on a hike. Although Mark Zuckerberg does go outside. I've seen him surfing.
He's shredded now. Don't know how that happened.
He actually is as pink as that elephant, I'm pretty sure, when I saw him surfing.
I was going to say, here's the Zuck at Vantara.
Oh,
that
nice.
him? Wow.
Oh, look at that in the Lemur Dome.
Look at that. He's
Lemur
out there,
Dome.
man.
The Zuck with his nice shoes. He's got nice shoes.
But
Those are beautiful shoes.
But
Right?
how great is it to see that, though? He's bringing in another billionaire. Maybe this will inspire Zuckerberg to want to get involved with something like this.
To me, what I love so much about the whole billionaire side of it, it's all give and no take. Same with Ted Turner, same with Anat Ambani, whatever. It's all give. There's no return. There's no picture for return. He's not asking for money. He's not looking for donations. The space race thing's a good media play, whatever. You know, I'm sure there's some ulterior return motive.
Yeah.
This is no return. This is just like, this guy, I read into his story and I asked him when I met him, because I actually got to meet Anat Ambani, and he's like, you know, or the story I read actually was like when he was 4 years old, he used to run around the city streets and rescue chickens and take them back to like his parents' palace. He's just been obsessed with animals his whole life. So now he has the resources. He's like, I'm just going to give to animals.
Maybe
It's awesome.
somebody
Sure.
listening to this podcast, young Brosner, is a future
Billionaire?
billionaire.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, like that, because that's kind of the thing, right? Like a lot of our listeners, I mean, all of them are obviously super passionate about animals. Everything I hear is like, I want to go out, I want to be in the field, I want to work with animals, I want to do this stuff, and it's a challenge to, as you get older, balance that with the need to have to pay your bills and do your stuff. So a lot of people give up, but really, like, if you have that passion and you just keep going and driving for what it is that drives you, the money, I feel like, eventually comes. You just have to figure it out. I mean, early enough and just go for it and do it. And eventually, like, people will be drawn to that. And in today's world, especially like with social media and content creation, just keep putting it out there and people are going to be drawn to that. They're going to want you.
Here's a take. And there was a lovely public service announcement.
A hot take.
No, but here's a hot take. Everyone who's so our kids are little.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They will be our age in a society where 80 to 90% of the population of the world has no job and basically lives in communities that are funded by the people who profit off of AI taking over the workforce. So we'll have 80% of Americans will live in block housing.
Yeah.
There will be food provided and entertainment, cable, whatever, YouTube, Wi-Fi will all be provided, and they'll have to find a place that makes those people happy because you'll have the 10% that are controlling the companies.
And do you think it'll be like a Ready Player One situation where you wake up?
I haven't seen that. What's that?
Oh, it's like Kyle can pull it up, but it's like you plug into a virtual world, basically.
I don't think so. I think it'll just be that there's no employment because AI has completely. I just read about a company in Europe that just replaced their entire sales force
With AI.
with AI, and it's working tremendously.
It's doing better than the human sales force did.
Yeah.
So the Ready Player One thing, the reason I bring that up, because I guess what I'm saying is because there's no employment, what do you do to keep those masses subdued? Because if you have 90% of your population unemployed, they're going to rally together and overthrow governments and blah, 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 blah. But if you give them little virtual goggles like what Apple just came out with, and they can live in a virtual world where all their wildest fantasies are met, they probably stay subdued.
I think it'll take a while to get it figured out to where they can keep most of the people happy, but you'll have your food provided. You'll get a coupon that entitles you to one flight a year. There will
literally hate this so much.
I might.
I don't know how it doesn't end up happening, though.
Well, I think.
yeah.
I mean,
How could that not happen?
I think
given the current trajectory,
because I think that there's more to human beings than just being complacent and satisfied, and I think that once you get to a certain point of complacency, like you hit, I mean, a theoretical, like a rock bottom of just complacency, and it makes you want to break out and do something else. I mean, I think people have like a natural drive and spirit within them that gets taken away by the consumerism and the
Dude,
screens.
no way. Not with this fucking thing in your pocket.
Well,
That trumps it.
but you don't think that people are getting sick and tired of fucking being addicted to their phones and stuff?
No.
We just come up with the next thing. Dude, the fucking Apple goggles, have you guys tried those things?
No.
You got to do it. You gotta do
You're
it.
trying to pull us in.
I'm pulling you into the Matrix, dude. The fucking Apple Vision Pros. I
I've
went
seen
to
a
the
video.
Apple store and I put it on, and I hate technology. We've made that abundantly clear over the last 4 years of podcasting.
Yeah, you don't know how to use most of it.
Yeah, and it makes me angry, and then I just want to
It
smash.
scares you.
It scares me very much. But I went and put on this Apple Vision Pro thing, and you do like the tight walks, like the like you walk across the
interesting.
slack line across
Yeah.
the Grand Canyon and stuff. It's the most mind-blowing thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You just like, you feel like you're there. Like there was a point
Yeah.
where the wind blows and I grabbed my chair because I thought I was going to fall off the tightrope.
I mean, there's a case to be made that these things aren't being invented so that people can have fun in their living room. It's that they're looking 10 years ahead.
That's what I'm saying.
And saying when
This is how we'll
60% of
control.
America doesn't work how are we going to control them?
I mean,
keep them entertained.
This is how, because if you can just plug into a virtual world where all your fantasies are met every day, you're not
kind of depressing.
You're not going to
Of
fight
course,
the
it's
system.
incredibly depressing. Then there will be groups that are going to split off. You'll have the bulk of populations living in these, block housing or whatever you want to call it. These, communities, and then there will be percentages of the population that go to large pieces of land.
You're literally describing the
explorers.
movie Ready Player One. Just so you know. I know you haven't seen it, but they literally all live in block houses. Like, it's crazy.
But then are there groups that like there will be compounds and communes of people that accumulate some land and go live in little self-sustaining groups.
But we've talked about this before. I
But
will either murder my whole family or go move them to one of those.
That's
those
what I'm
are the
talking about.
options.
Well, you'll be very useful. Because I was talking to this with my buddy, talking about this with my friend, and he kind of has like this like agrarian homestead thing where he's got everything he needs.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm of almost no value. And I started because I was in a long Uber ride. And I started thinking, I was like, oh shit, like I want to go take my family to one of those when this happens in, let's say, 10 years. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to offer a lot because I don't have a ton of skills.
Comedic value.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was like,
You're quick
maybe I
on
can
your
just be
feet.
like the jester who.
Yeah.
No, you know what it is, dude?
You need one of those hats with the bells.
Yeah. I can get one of those.
I think that you and Forrest and even me to a degree could thrive in that type of place because like the people who just go out and overcome challenges no matter what it is. Like I've seen you do things where like you just like when something comes up, you just handle it, you figure out how to deal with it, and you move on. That's how you learn. Like you don't need the internet to learn stuff. Nobody had it before. You just went through your life and you learned how to make food. Like when we didn't have kitchens, you learned how to make food. People will die. People won't be. Those people will live in the communes. But the people who, I'm just saying the people who want to actually like live life and like have a passion for life, they're going to be the ones that go out and there's going to be that battle between the billionaires who want everybody to be the Matrix battery living in the thing.
Let me flip this on its head for a second. Is that such a bad thing?
Which one?
What part?
The whole thing. So if 90% of the population is controlled, living in little block houses, wiring in, plugging in every day, and being fed gray meal.
Well, I want to hear what the listeners think about
lovely
this.
food, by the way.
I'm just saying.
Please comment to this question.
No, but listen, if that's how 90% of the population lives, and let's assume our brosners are the 10% that don't live that way, is that such a bad thing? I mean, I feel like it frees up space, it frees up wildlands, like it you know what I mean? It's like maybe the 10% that don't live that way, if you choose to be in that 10%, have a much better life than today's.
And the other people don't even know. And the other people don't know, and they're fine.
And they don't care because they're wired in.
And now there's less pollution. There's less overcrowding. No, I mean,
we turn into a giant ant farm, basically.
Listen, we have to figure out some way to make it work. We're never going to stop populating, you know? Maybe that is the answer, and maybe that's what these guys are looking at. But you still got to have, the people that go out and are explorers and have a spirit to go out and do stuff.
There's one of my thoughts was that just being willing to join one of the outside groups might be all that's needed to join the group, right? Just showing up and saying, I want to learn, teach us.
Right.
Here we are.
I'll work and I'll help.
And that might be enough. But if that's the case, then they will all inevitably turn into cults and be run like cults. With a leader who fucks the women and
maybe. I mean,
they will be run like cults.
Should we start one now? I mean, I'm just
we have one.
We have a little Wild Times cult. Like I've seen it at Animal Con.
But we're not gonna fuck everybody's women, are we?
Let's not rule anything out here, Peter. Okay, let's just calm down.
Kyle,
with
don't
your
you
broad
dare laugh.
assumptions.
That's crass, sir. No, I mean this is an interesting discussion, and I mean I think that the forward thinkers are thinking about this stuff, man, and it's all your perspective about. I mean, you can look at it anyway. Like you can look at it Pat's way, like it's going to be somewhat grim. You can look at it Forrest's way, maybe it's a good thing, but it's going to happen because population keeps going, time keeps going, and we got to figure out something. So
should we play a game?
Yeah.
Which one?
Let's play the Guess the Animal based on their name game.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Wait,
all
right.
Is
that a jingle?
That's new.
Kyle's very proud of that.
Look at how smiley
Where'd that come
he is.
from?
Yeah.
Do it again. We got to do a little. Give me a do back on you again.
Where'd that come from?
It's default.
Nice. All
All right,
right.
Kyle, you're going to DJ because we like hearing you try and pronounce these words, and then we're going to guess the animal and country of origin. Guess the animal based on their native name.
All right. I think Edwin is up in the stakes on this one. These
Okay.
are pretty tough.
The AI that we just shat on for 5 minutes did a really good job.
Yeah,
with
for
this.
sure.
If you're listening or watching on YouTube and you know it at the time that it's said, before Kyle gives the answer, put it in the comments.
Yeah.
You're a winner.
And we'll give you a treat.
And if you Google it, shut up.
Yeah, I'll give you a heart in the comments.
There we go. All right. First one is Kopek Baligi.
Kopek Baligi.
We got an umlaut over the O, and I don't know
Kopek.
what that thing over the G is.
I think
What
it's
is it?
also an umlaut.
Is it? Okay.
It's a different.
Man,
All right.
Kopek, that I have like zero clue of country of origin.
Kopek Baligi.
I got an idea.
Go ahead.
idea,
Yeah.
So this has got to be a Nordic country because of that umlaut and that thing over
That's
the G.
critical thinking.
Yeah.
Now you're thinking like a lunatic.
And I don't know what animals live there, but I'm gonna guess maybe it's a Kodak bear.
Okay, Kopek, Kodak. Okay,
A Kodiak bear?
Kodiak.
that's what he
bear.
meant. Yeah.
Not
He
Nordic.
could have corrected me before his snarky ass did it.
Sorry.
No, it's. I was just gonna let it ride.
No, I was going to go with
Yeah.
one of the two. I was going to go with something that's found in the Nordic, something that the Vikings might have encountered, the Norse might have encountered in Norway. I'm going to go with a wolf.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna stay in that region. I'm gonna go Russian for weasel.
Mm. Yeah, it's
yeah.
sorry.
What?
It's actually Turkish.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yep. For shark, which is the direct translation to dogfish.
Dogfish.
That's
Kopek.
shenanigans.
Fish with big teeth.
They don't even have sharks left in Turkey.
I-
Got zeros across the board.
Over under on how many we get. I'm gonna say we get.
These
less
are
than,
tough because it looks like he took out all the African ones.
yeah,
Yeah.
which are the ones that I know,
Yeah.
the only ones,
Yeah.
and Spanish ones, which you knew.
Maybe we can get one.
Number 3, I have a feeling about.
Okay.
All
What's
right,
Number
Kyle?
2 for us or Kyle.
Okay.
Good
this
luck.
one is tough.
Go.
It's Smuggerly Schroin.
He
Schmugger.
threw in a bonus sh in the middle. That's not phonetically on there.
Say it.
Smuggerly Run.
Oh boy, you're really good
I
at
think
that.
I think it's that.
Yeah, I think it is that. boy.
Smuggerly.
Fucking A.
This
Do
is
you
Run.
guys want to hear it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, try
Oh,
that.
genius. We have to wait 10 minutes. But I'm just going to throw my guess in
You
right
have
now.
to.
I'm going to go with Swedish Schmiegel.
What?
Swedish Schmiegel. You never heard of a Schmiegel?
Schmiegel from Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair. I'm gonna. Royan sounds very Irish.
Yep, it does.
Yep. What would we find in Ireland? Now that's tricky for me.
Leprechauns.
Interesting.
Alcoholics.
I'm gonna say this is
Ooh.
Irish
Gingers.
for
4-leaf clovers.
Sorry,
horse.
Ireland.
It's a horse. I know it's not. Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
I just
Okay.
didn't want dead air.
Royan is
Royan.
a horse name. Horse.
Roin does sound Irish. I like that.
And horsey.
But it's not. It's Scottish, of course,
Oh.
for a Highland cattle.
Ooh.
Gotcha. Well, it's so. It's close. So it is Irish.
wow.
But it's
That's
Irish.
a half a point.
Yep, sure.
Schmiegel's
Oh,
from
yeah.
Ireland. Yeah.
Half of Schmiegel's could be. from
Royan.
Ireland. It's
Get
actually
over here.
jellyfish.
Wow.
No.
What's the translation? What's the literal?
Seal snot.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love
That is
that.
That's
great.
awesome. That's what all
got
jellyfish should be called.
Smuggerly.
You
That's
gotta love the
Smuggerly's clearly snot.
Yeah,
you gotta love
That's
the
a great
Irish.
word for snot.
it is.
I'm going to
Smuggerly.
say that to my daughter when she blows her nose.
You
You
gotta
be like,
sh-
did you get some Smuggerly in there?
You get a little
Smuggerly.
Smuggerlies out on that
Teaching
tissue.
her a new language.
All right.
Okay.
0. Oh, half point for Papa P.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
you're
right.
winning right
You're up
now.
by a half a point.
That might hold.
All right. What do we got?
I think it's
Number
going to.
Number
three.
three is Zeehond.
Got this.
Okay,
Go.
go.
So this is zebras that reside in Germany.
Okay.
Zeehond.
Zeehond.
That's what you're going with?
Zeehond.
Go if you got something.
Sure. I'm going to
Zeehond.
go Swedish for.
Meatball.
No, close though. For. There's a Swedish hound. I don't know what it's called, but
Oh.
it's a hound. It's a dog.
Zeehond.
And
Okay.
if it's even in the dog family, I get half a point, by the way.
Absolutely. If
Yeah.
it's in the hound group, you get
Yeah.
a full point.
There we go.
Whoa.
So you're saying Swedish. Okay. Zeehond, I'm going to
Zeehond.
say is Dutch for muskox.
Wow. All right. So first of all.
Oh man, I thought he was going to give us the
He
ding
set
ding.
it up like we had one.
So this
in
is
there,
interesting.
Well, I
This
like how he goes, wow. So, well, first of all, hang on. Well, it's bonk.
so it is Dutch.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh,
All
there you
right.
go.
It's Dutch for seal.
Oh,
Ah.
Which,
Not seal
but
snot.
the direct translation is sea dog.
Interesting.
Hund had dog for me for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hund.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's
Zeehund.
another half point for Patrick.
Wow,
All right.
I got a full point, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
Looking good.
Happy about that.
All right.
This one feels like someone should get it.
Yeah. I got a feeling for the country
It feels
already.
like a cryptid, right?
It does.
It does. Yeah. So this one's Alimango.
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 Ali-
Got to be
he
a
knows
soft
it.
day. It's got to be a soft day. Mango.
Alimango.
Alimango.
I'll get first with my nonsensical
Do it.
answer. This is
Try,
gonna
though.
be-
Try to get it.
No,
Try to
no,
get
I
it.
am. I mean, I'm going to go South American. Wait, no, Alimango. That doesn't seem South American.
I think it could be Spanish or I don't know.
I'm going to go with the Spanish catfish.
Okay.
No, Spanish mango fish.
Sure.
Alimango.
Alimango. You got something?
Yeah, I do.
Aleman.
I'm gonna say Alimango.
Because I could see someone being like, Aleman, go.
Alimango.
It's
So it's
Jamaican.
Jamaican.
Alimango. No, I see it as Italian. Alimango.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alimango
Interesting.
is Italian for caterpillar.
Ooh.
Fascinating.
Mhm.
Alimango.
Moth,
It's
maybe.
in the pasta. Hey.
I think it's Portuguese, but the animal hails from Brazil.
South America.
Wait, do they speak Portuguese in Brazil?
They
right?
do. They do.
I'm just going for country because I got no shot here. It's some sort of monkey in Brazil.
Okay. So this is
It's funny.
Tagalog.
Oh boy,
Tagalog.
Filipino.
Crab.
Did you know that?
No,
Okay.
What? You're a
Alimango.
shitty Filipino then.
I'm not Filipino.
I know.
What?
Wait, I thought you were part Filipino.
No.
Oh.
Wait, you told me he was, and I've told my Filipino wife that he is.
That's not my fault, mate.
Did she say something to you last time you were at the house?
No.
Oh, I thought she did.
It's
Okay.
okay. Everything's okay.
You also told me that he was part Filipino.
I'm not Filipino.
I'm out here spreading misinformation. Look what happens when you play the game of telephone.
Okay.
I thought your mom was half Filipino or something.
Guamanian.
That's
Ah,
right.
They're
That's
quite
right.
different.
Thanks, man.
Anyway, what
All
is
right.
it Tagalog for?
Crab.
Crab.
Okay.
Crab.
All right.
Alimango.
We're getting 0.
1-0-0.
Yep.
One more. Let's do one more.
All right. This one.
No, you got to do number 8 because he'll never be.
Okay.
All right. We'll do number 8. Borua.
No?
Borua.
Borua?
Borua.
What, so,
Borua.
Borua.
I-
I
Cambodian
think
for
that's
turtle.
a Q.
yeah?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just like all those dots and things over the O's and U's. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
got to be some Southeast Asian language.
I think it's
Borua.
Laotian for some sort of venomous snake.
Taiwanese.
We all do that. It's like I'm like Asian.
Yeah.
Nordic. We just make it up.
And we're wrong.
Taiwanese, I mean, snake. Well, we'll go with like a Taiwanese eel of some, a Taiwanese eel.
Sure.
Okay.
Classic.
Fuck.
So Forrest actually goes pretty close. It's Vietnamese for turtle.
Oh!
What did I say?
You said
Said-
Cambodian.
God damn
but
it.
you do get
That's
half a
pretty
point.
close.
That's a
Yeah.
half point.
All right.
That's a half point. All right.
Is that it? Or we do
I
one
want
more for all
I want
levels?
number 6.
For
I
all
really
of
want to know. I got to know what number 6 is.
All right. Number 6. This one
Yeah.
for
Just
5
read it.
points. 5 points.
Okay.
Dweez and Poot.
Nope. Dusenpoot.
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 Oh, man.
Dusen feels very German to
gotta
me.
be.
Yeah, dude.
Only Germans put poot in a word.
And by the way, it doesn't have to be an animal that lives in that country. That's where I've
No.
been fucking up.
Correct.
They
Yeah.
have Nilford for
Right.
hippopotamus.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
Dusen- Dusenpoot.
Alimango is just a crab in Philippines.
Dusenpoot is unquestionably German for hyena.
Go ahead, Forrest. I see you.
I'm thinking it's Dothraki, the made-up language
Yeah.
from.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go Austrian
Mm.
for a poodle.
Oh, dude, I was going to say German poodle. Now I can't.
Oh, you might have gotten it.
A poodle.
All right, fine. I'm going German poodle, not Austrian.
Dude, could you imagine if you just heard swing? Ding, ding, ding. I would be like, holy shit.
I would
Dopamine
leave.
hit.
I could leave happy.
Yeah. All right. So this one is Dutch
Wow.
dude.
Zilch.
for millipede.
That's
No one
not
was getting
fair.
that ever.
Translates
Ever.
to 1,000 leg.
The Dutch wouldn't have got that.
Here's the thing.
There's not one
1,000
person.
foot or 1,000 leg? Because it's put foot,
This says leg, 1,000 leg.
dozen. Is it
So last
so dozen
time,
foot.
last time we played this game, Forrest,
dozen foot,
Yeah.
not 1,000 leg.
Correct.
you
liar.
chastised Edwin for making them way too easy, and now he's gone completely to the other end.
These are great.
No,
it's
they're really
fun
good.
to try to figure it out.
And people have learned things for sure on this. Nobody knew any of these. If you knew this and it's in the comments
If
and I
we
see the
did them
timestamp,
again right now, I still wouldn't get one.
I'm
I
going to
get
remember
crab.
dozen put.
I would have gotten
Dozen
alimango crab.
Ali mango.
Oh, I can't wait till next time. We have a friend that their kid's favorite toy is this big rubber millipede.
Okay.
So I can't wait to go over to their house so I can say drop a dozen put.
Yeah, that's
Dozen
nice.
put.
Hey, is your kid playing with the dozen poot or?
Like, what did you say?
Did you just invite me to a swingers pool party?
Yes, I did.
Baby, I can't wait.
I'm hoping it's in December.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to do the thing. Let's wrap it up here. Check out wildtimes.club/info. You want to get some merch, dude? Just support the show. Make sure you leave a comment. It's very important for the algorithm. I know you're just listening at work, but go onto your phone and leave a comment, like it, and just do it. That's the most important thing you can do. Screw everything else. Don't even go to the website. Leave a comment, like it, subscribe, share it with a friend. Love you guys.
Dozen poot.
Dozen put. Can I get a ding ding just so I get that dopamine hit? Yeah! Now I feel good.
Good night, everybody.
Now I feel good.